Hello lads and ladies, and welcome back for another video on the channel. It's been long overdue. Glad to see you here, mate. How are we? Normally you're on another screen, but today,
you're in my flat.
I can touch you.
Yeah, please don't do that.
I think I need to go and go and get tested now. How are you, mate? You all right?
Yes, mate. I'm good. It's good to have you. It's good to have you here. We've had a busy week in league, a busy couple of weeks in League One, so there's lots to talk about. So looking forward to it.
Absolutely. So League One, we did a roundup about.
Are you in League One next year? Sorry, that was uncalled for. I won't say it again.
League One, we've had 3 or 4 we've had 3 or 4 weeks since our last roundup. There's been a lot happened. In this video, we're going to go through every League One club, the 24 that are competing in League One next season. And no, we aren't in that. But if you do want to come and talk about Fleetwood Town on that League Two roundup, which will be happening very, very soon, so stay subscribed to that. But if you haven't already, please get liking, please get subscribing for all the very best League One content this season. There's going to be live streams on a Sunday night at 8 o'clock. There's going to be League One videos. There's going to be vlogs. We're going to get out to games as well. The League One content is getting bigger, adding on to some League Two content. And we want to try and hit 15,000 subscribers. We'll be on a Sunday night with this one as well, because the transfer budget isn't big as well. And if you want to join us a member for one video extra per week, you can do down below. Where me and Jake have just done an England draft. We've done our Euros predictions. We've got a lot of behind the scenes videos as well.
You got back to the League One lives.
Yeah, okay. We'll forget about that. That was in March, that, mate. But again, if you want to unlock that, it's £1.99 for a full month. And you can unlock 12 previous episodes and ones that are coming up as well. Plenty of content to get your teeth into. But again, we're here for League One. Barnsley, Darrell Clark came in a few weeks ago. We talked about that, a great appointment. Conor Hourihane soon followed. Not too much to discuss. Andy Dallas has gone out on loan to Barrow. Again, you're expecting it to kind of pick up now. Darrell Clark's been in there a few weeks, identifying targets. What are you thinking of them?
Yeah, I think there'll be another team that'll be up there again next year, Ben. To be hard-working, grafting. Hourihane, I believe, is coming in as a bit of a coach as well. So, I think they need to add a few bodies, certainly up top, out wide. They lost Cadden, they lost Devante Cole as well. So, Darrell Clark's got his work cut out, but I think he's got a healthy budget to be able to achieve that. So, I think Barnsley will be active by the next time we do one of these in a couple of weeks.
Birmingham obviously appointed the manager, no real arrivals, but a still strong feeling that they are about to do their business. And we are only on the 28th of June. The season starts, I think, 7 weeks today. Pre-season has got underway for most football clubs this week, and if it hasn't, by the time this video is out on Monday the 1st of July.
29th of June.
Is it the 29th of June? Well, I came down on the 28th of June. I'm getting mixed up. But it's the 29th of June. When this video is out on the 1st of July, every club should be back in pre-season in the Football League, in League One. You kind of get that feeling that they're going to really go for it next year. New owners. And according to 1 June,
budget.
They're going to have one of the biggest budgets ever to grace League One.
Yeah, 20 million quid, isn't it?
Massive.
Yeah, I like Davis. I've heard a lot of good things about him from Leicester. Obviously, he's worked some big jobs, like we mentioned before. They've kept a hold of some key players as well, Ben, which will be really, really intriguing. James is a massive one that was linked with Atalanta a couple of years ago, last year as well, I think. But you'd expect Blues to show off their financial clout and probably bring in some players. They've been linked with that lad for. I think they've reportedly put a bid in of £5 million, which is mental if they're going to buy a League One player for £5 million. So we'll have to wait and see. But Blues will be active, I would have thought.
Blackpool have been very active in the last few days. Coulson joining again. He did very well when he came in on loan from Middlesbrough last year, and they spent some hard-earned cash on that. There's been a lot of talk around the football club, not happy at the season ticket prices. The fans for him might have not gone as well as expected.
How do you know that as a Fleetwood fan?
You just know these things. They've gone up. That the price of the junior tickets have gone up. So,
are you looking for when you're going to buy yourself one?
Shut up.
You're going to go north stand or south then?
East. They did bring Keogh back as a coach as well, and I think that he was he was a good player for them in terms of a coaching role. And shut up.
What does it say?
Fletcher. They brought Fletcher in as well.
Ashley Fletcher.
Ashley Fletcher. We'll get on to that. Keogh back as a coach, and not just as a player, Keogh, but he was good for the dressing room. He was in a lot of the promotional videos when they announced the kit and when they announced a player. I think they announced one of them in like one of the kit boxes as well in the dressing room, and they're all buzzing to bring him back. Ashley Fletcher is another one that has probably had 6 or 7 clubs now, and I use this phrase, he needs to find a home. And I use that phrase about Connor Ripley at Port Vale, and when he was at Morecambe, and he's done so, I think, at those football clubs. Ashley Fletcher just needs to find a home. Blackpool have got struggling strikers that have struggled in the leagues above. I think the likes of Jerry Yates, Gary Medine, and they've worked well for them. I think it's a good signing. It's someone that you can hit, you can play through. Coulson's a great signing, and they signed Ashworth as well. I think it's a superb signing.
Yeah, that's the one for me that I'm really impressed with, Ben. Was a little bit unfairly treated, I think, at Bolton last year, but at Burton prior to that, he was really good. One of the league's certainly one of the league's best. Yeah, Fletcher, I agree with. Yeah, he's probably not been very good since he played for Barnsley when they won. They won the playoffs in 2016,
27. Yeah, 2015-16.
Yeah. So there's some good business, but I think they have a little bit of work to do because they've got to replace the creativity of Karamoko Dembele, and that is going to be quite some task. You'd imagine they're going to have to whip the wallet out to try and get that done.
I tell you what, Bolton's business. You rate a couple of weeks ago, and you're thinking, that obviously their season did finish 2 weeks after, and they're back in pre-season just 45 days after their playoff final defeat to Oxford. Yeah. Lolos has come in. Yeah. Orsi has also left Crawley, which we'll come to in a bit. Between them two, they had 41 goal contributions. 18 did come from Lolos, 13 goals, 5 assists, a lot inside that penalty box. He's a player that, with the ball at his feet, can come alive. It's a great signing. They've also signed Luke Southwood, who made 99 appearances for Cheltenham, couldn't quite make the 100. Great signing, good young goalkeeper still. And Chris Farino, who made 90 appearances since 2021 for the Chairboys. They've signed 3 players there that know League One. Lolos obviously has come from League Two. Got promotion, knows how to win promotion at Wembley the day after Bolton. Unfortunately for Bolton, they couldn't quite get the job done. And they've got another year of me talking about you. So hello, Bolton fans. Hello, fan zone. Hello, Cole. Welcome back. We do love you, really. Great fan base. And we've used this phrase about a number of clubs that do smart business signing players, because sometimes you can kind of go, we're signing League One players, we're not signing. But when you come down to this level, I think Ipswich may have been vulnerable to that in previous years where they've signed players maybe too good for League One but don't know League One. Salford, especially in League Two as well. I think these are 3 smart signings, but 3 signings that will get you off the edge of your feet and you think, Farino's, I think, probably the best signing in terms of, can play 35, 40 times a season. Then you've got the creativity in a Lolos as well.
Yeah, Farino's a clever pickup because I imagine he'll go and play that right centre-back role that they've had to sort of play Dakris Cogley in a few times, and he looked a little bit unorthodox. But a really good ball-playing defender, really good potential as well. I think Wycombe were gutted to lose him. Southwood obviously broken his leg, so you'd imagine he'd come in as cover for a start. But Lolos, his career looked like it was going nowhere, Ben, when he was at Torquay. And Crawley just plucked him out of non-league. I think with their stats-led approach, they were able to find that he put up some good numbers. And last season, he was probably the man in League Two for creating like goal scoring opportunities, just driving from midfield. And Bolton lost Paris Magoma, and I think Lolos is going to go a long way to replacing Paris Magoma. Maybe not as good, but certainly feel that hole feel less filled.
Who's next?
Bristol Rovers, mate. Yeah, we love Bristol Rovers. They've been quite busy, haven't they? I think they've signed. Most of their business has come in the last sort of 7 days, hasn't it? They started off with Isaac Hutchinson from Walsall, who played with Freddie Draper at Walsall last season, was phenomenal. I think he had 26 goal contributions in League Two last year. So Bristol Rovers are bringing in someone. Now, whether that's to go alongside Evans or to replace Anthony Evans, who's been linked with moves away, should be interesting. But also, like you mentioned, they've brought in Dan Ellison from Chippenham, who's a good young defender. I think a lot of teams are after him. Clinton Mola from Reading, and then this Bolongo fella from Middlesbrough that hasn't played a lot of football. So intrigued to see how he gets on. But good business from Rovers. I like it so far.
Will Satoru as well scores goals at this level as well.
I was leaving that one for you to say, Ben, because I know how good you are with pronunciation.
Yeah. Well, I can get that.
Yeah,
one.
no, Will Satoru. They'll have to pay compensation from there.
Yeah, he got double digits last year in League One, didn't he? And he started the season very well. Went on a bit of a drought. Obviously, was in and out of the team, wasn't he? There was a couple of reasons for it there, but again. We'll go to Burton because they've been very active. They did lose Powell, but they brought Elliot Watt in, which we've already come to.
Yeah.
Orsi. Now, again, undisclosed fee.
It's not much.
I think it's a very slim fee. They signed Cole Stockton last summer with the same similar hopes. Orsi obviously proved it. He made Wembley his dance floor, basically. He did, yeah. One promotion there as well. He's a great signing as well. They signed Bannon as well.
Bannon,
on a long-term deal. They're giving out long-term deals. Webster as well as another one. They're signing players on the new long-term deals. They've got a new manager in Robinson. They've got new ownership that are very well off as well. Burton this season might surprise a few.
I think they're going to bloody a few noses, Ben. This ownership group seems to know how they want to do things, and it's by bringing in young players who they feel can have value and ones that they can sell on in a year, 18 months, 2 years' time. So, yeah, I do like it. I do like Horse. I think he'll be a bit better than Cole Stockton, but I am quite wary about Burton because everyone loved the business last year.
Yeah.
I put them in 11th to finish 11th or 12th last year. And they really let me down. So I'm sort of a little bit worried about how good the business actually is. I think under a different manager and different ownership, we should be looking good. But certainly an exciting window for Burton. And for Shrewsbury fans, you're thinking of what we could have had. And unfortunately, it's gone to the Brewers. But yeah, good summer so far for Burton.
Cambridge obviously brought Watts in, and the two biggest pieces of their business has since the last video. Obviously, Mannion went to Charlton, which we've discussed. Elias Kachunga and Sully Kaikai have both signed new deals with the football club. Again, they will need to strengthen because teams around them, like Burton, like we've just mentioning, have strengthened again. Again, good little piece of business. They still need to do more, obviously, but it's a good start.
Do you know the best business for Cambridge?
Go on.
The kits. You seen them?
No, they're not.
They
too
are
bad.
phenomenal. The home and the third kit, particularly. I think the away kit looks a little bit like a Weatherspoons plate. But I am a big fan of the third kit, the green and gold. So, no, yeah, I agree. Kachunga is getting on. I think Kaikai was an important one. He had a really good game away at Carlisle when they won 4-0 towards the back end of the year. So, yeah, you'd imagine Gary Monk will want to bring in another 5 or 6 maybe to bring in his own generals and obviously Brophy's on a contract as well.
They love him, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah, Brophy for England, I've heard, mate.
Yeah, Ax loves that, doesn't he? I mentioned to him. Charlton, we've mentioned him. Mannion came in. Anyone else that they signed, Jay?
I don't want to talk about Charlton. They've upset me.
Mitchell?
Yeah, Alex Mitchell.
What can they expect?
Someone that they'll fall in love with, a player that wears his heart on the sleeve, very good at coming into midfield and playing the ball. Very good at defending. He loves defending. There was a famous story that when he was on loan at Kilmarnock the season before we had him, he used to after training just stand on the byline and get a coach to throw the ball to him and see if he could head it over the halfway line, which he can do. So yeah, big loss for Lincoln. I can understand why he's gone to Charlton, more money. He obviously come from Millwall, so it's around the corner. But it's a good piece of business. It'll be key in that back three alongside Lloyd Jones. And you imagine they'd probably want to pick up another defender. So good bit of business. And obviously we mentioned there Will Mannion as well. It's a good sign.
I think Millwall are slightly disappointed that a player that they've developed, sent out on loan, has now gone to Charlton and can't really do much with now. Crawley have lost a lot of players. We've mentioned
Exodus, mate.
Yeah, Lolos, Orsi has already been mentioned as well. Adai we'll mention as well to Stockport County. Lawrence Maguire, who was on loan last year, has gone to MK Dons. You've lost Adam Campbell, who has been in and around football clubs.
You know where he's gone?
Where's he gone? You tell me.
Hartlepool.
Has he? But he loves that area
He
of
was
the world,
very
doesn't he?
from Gateshead, I think.
Yeah, he was at Newcastle as a kid as well. Fleetwood had him on loan. I think he played 4 times. But they have brought in a couple of players, Josh Flint, Hepburn Murphy, good signing as well. Look, if Scotland can pull this off, it'll be a bigger miracle than winning promotion, won't it? Like,
yeah, it feels like he's got to League One and he's played down the new League One carpet, and the owners have gone, well, we're going to pull this one to your feet now. Will Wright was huge for them. Orsey was huge for them. I would be worried if they then went on and lost Kelly.
Yeah,
he would be a big one.
I think he's the best player in that team, to be fair. Now that's left.
I think Josh Flint might have something to say about that because he's a technically fantastic footballer that's played on the continent for the last year. They're going to need some business. The one thing that you say about Crawley, and it was similar to when Fleetwood would have first come up to this league, no one is going to want to go to Broadfield. No one is going to want to go. It's a small ground. They'll be sold out most weeks, 4,500, 5,000 people. It'll be tough for big teams to go there and win. But Scott Lindsay has got to.
Do you think this will help Scott Lindsay in an area where it'll be, well, obviously him coming up, if they started slow with that team that they've lost, they're all of a sudden thinking, we're struggling now. I think for me now, it's almost them against the world, Scotland against the world. And I think if he gets relegated, his stock won't go from here to there. It'll probably go from there to about there. Yeah. He's not going to lose much, really, because if he goes out, he got relegated with Crawley, who had the lowest budget in the league. And if he keeps him up, then he'll... Yeah,
it's expectation, isn't it? Having all his best players sort of wiped from under his feet, and if he's able to keep them up, then that's one hell of a job. But you'd have to say at the moment, with the way that the teams around the bottom look like they're strengthening, Burton, Cambridge, Shrewsbury, I think have done some good business. They're going to have to pull the finger out to do anything next year.
Exeter City, very quickly, Josh McGuinness signed. Kind of Guinness in his video, which I really liked as well. The players are very united for Gary Caldwell. They all took part in a kind of a fun run this morning. The squad, the media staff, the players as well. Gary Caldwell didn't do quite well from here.
How do you know that?
That's what I do. You do research, Jake. It's not just up here. You kind of, play the game. I've been in and around it for a long time now. I'm not that 15-year-old that everyone thinks I am now. Mitchell signing a new deal as well, which is fantastic news. He's coming off social media a little bit as well. Is it having someone to manage that as well, which I think is good news for him and the football club as well. It's a good football club, Exeter. It's a different football club. And you mentioned nobody wants to go to Broadfield. I don't think anyone wants to go to St James's Park. If you're 1-0 up, I think, were you 1-0 up there the last season? And yeah, obviously you drew and you were in a difficult moment at the time. And behind that goal, the big cop, the biggest standing terrace, the bank, it's a hard place to go. And I think that they went on a great run in 2024. I think they were top 8, top 9 in that second half of the season. They did really well, didn't they? And they've had a good summer so far.
Yes, they have.
Quiet.
They still need to do some work, though. They're one of those that you could potentially see sort of slipping down the table because the quality of the league's going to increase. Obviously, they've been linked with a lad at Gateshead, Francis, who's a midfielder that a lot of people that I trust the judgment of from National League, so like Tom Williams, really rate him. But obviously, we know it's difficult to make the step up from the National League to League One, and we'll talk about that no doubt when we talk about Peterborough. But yeah, I like Exeter. Some good signings. Mitchell's staying really big, and McGuinness is going to. I don't think they've had an option like McGuinness for quite some time.
No.
Since they probably had Jaden Stockley up front.
Yeah.
I don't think they've had an option, and McGuinness.
Nombe, didn't they? To be fair,
but he's not a big centre forward.
No.
So I think having that option to go long and having an extra big man in the box when they're defending 1-0 leads, I think will be quite pivotal for them.
Did you lose Zach Jules talking about a big loss there? Obviously, he can play left side centre half or left wing back.
We're coming on to them now, aren't we?
Huddersfield are rumoured to sign Alfie May. We'll say rumoured. There's been a 3-figure fee that has been mentioned by one journalist, and one journalist has denied that as well. We've also hearing another talk, so we won't mention that, but If Alf May goes to Huddersfield, linking up with Duffy, who he was at Cheltenham for a number of years for as well, before moving to Charlton last summer as well. He scored 23 goals last season in the division. But Huddersfield have made one signing, and it's the best right wing back in the league last season. Lars Sorensen. The man that is laugh.
It's beautiful. No, look, it is a good sign of Huddersfield.
They like giving you money, don't they?
They do, yeah.
Cowley,
Toffolo, Sorensen.
Yeah.
But it was in the last year of his deal, Ben. Lincoln had to do something.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to sign another one. He was the best fullback in the league, like you say.
Best cathedral, best biscuit, best pitch, best city.
Agreed. But he'll fit Michael Duff's system. He's an energetic wing back. He'll be perfect for them.
Yeah.
He'll have some output in terms of. I think he got 12 goal contributions last year from right wing back. He's going to go in. And look, to be honest, I can't blame him. Huddersfield are more likely to get promoted out of League One this year than Lincoln are. It's a good move. He's likely to increase his salary. It's a good move for Lass.
So Leyton Orient then, Jake. He brought in Sonny Perkins from Leeds, who had a loan spell at Oxford last year as well. One more year. Darren Pratley signed a new deal. That man is what, 40, 39 years of age, nearly 40 now, and he's still physically fit, still gets up the pitch, still, be able to play a game like he's 30. He'll still be able to play 25, 30, 35 games next year as well. Richie Wellens signed a new deal, which we've mentioned as well. Quiet, effective as well. And James signed a new deal as well.
Yeah, I like Orient's business. I think they're still going to need to add a bit of quality. Charlie Kelman's come in today as we record this. I don't know if he's going to be able to replace Shaq Ford, because Shaq Ford had a really good loan spell there last year.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
But I think the best bit of business that Orient have done this year is getting Wellens on a 3-year contract, because there were rumours and people were saying they'd seen him up at Barnsley. It's a huge bit of business for Orient. So I can see them having another good year, to be fair. But I think they need another 6 or 7 before they can realistically potentially challenge for that top 6 again.
To challenge for the top 6, you obviously got to win games of football. And talking about winning games of football,
who are we talking about next?
The winning machine that unfortunately broke the last 3 games of the season.
Didn't break at all, mate.
After defeat to Portsmouth and Wigan, in there as well. They've signed Conor McGrandles again for the
3 times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's a bit like that girlfriend you go to where. So basically, Conor McGrandles. McGrandles is there like, no one else will want me. I'll just go back to Lincoln. No, it's a good sign.
No, he's coming back closer to Scotland, mate.
Yeah, that's what it is. No, I think it's a decent. I think McGrandles is a top 10, top 12 League One player, if I'm honest with you, in a team. Yeah. But it's Lincoln's issue is, can he take them to that next level? That's all I will say. Can he take them to that? They signed Partington from Cheltenham. The only one from Cheltenham, Jake. We've just had a pause in our recording because Jake had to take a call. Who are you signing, mate?
Well, it looks like Rob Street.
Doesn't score goals, doesn't make assists, but he's a centre forward.
Can't wait.
But he's very good, apparently.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think I trust the opinion of John Palmer and of Josh Talks EFL, who have just been on the phone.
Not Matt MF, then, no.
Anyway, so Randalls.
We love you, Matt.
The one that I'm excited about is Tom Bayliss, because I think at Cov he was phenomenal, and he got that move up to Preston for £2 million.
Yeah.
And that first season when he was back at Shrewsbury, I thought he was phenomenal. 10 goal contributions. Last year he played in a team that didn't want to go forward. I think it's very hard to judge a creative player in a team that don't score goals. I think Bayliss in a Skubala system could be gravy.
Yeah.
His attributes in terms of he's tall, he can see a pass, he can finish. Also, what we've not put on here, Ben, is that Lewis Monsmore has signed a new deal.
Yeah.
Until January. That is also huge. But yes, we're expecting Rob Street to come through the door at some point in the next 7 to 10 days.
Mansfield. Not too far away in the alphabet and not too far away in distance either. No. Lee Gregory, Oshalarger as well, has come from Burton. Clough's business either seems to be experienced players or Burton.
Burton players, yeah.
Brian Bleeding.
He's played for
Clough's
Burton.
son, Nigel Clough.
Blake Tracy's played for Burton.
Again,
Quinn's played for Burton. Aiken, Josh Alarja.
Yeah, Quinn signed a new deal.
Yeah.
Again, I think Quinn will be good for 1,000 minutes next year, which, if you look at it, that's 11 full games next year. But I'm thinking 20, 25 minutes. He basically, you've seen that play. He's very good for 55, 60, possibly 65 minutes. Saturday. When it gets Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, it does struggle. Lucas Aikens has signed a new deal as well. David Keeler done. He's the massive one that they need to keep hold of, isn't it? Because if they keep him with Gregory up there as well, it looks like Christy Pym will remain their goalkeeper. Obviously, had experience at this level with Peterborough, and obviously had a decent time with Exeter before that in League Two as well. I like the business that they've done so far. I think, was it 8 years in League Two they struggled for?
Yeah.
But they're up now. They're
Funny,
up now.
wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. They're up now. They're a good football club, Mansfield.
Keanu Bacchus is one that I will give them credit for. He was Ethan Arahan's central midfield partner at St Mirren, and has been capped for Australia, Ben, and went to the Qatar World Cup. So clearly a player that's got something about them. I've spoke with Gab Sutton about this, about dead Josh Alarja. It's not one that I can get behind. I think he's too erratic. I think he's got a bit of a temper. I think he gets sent off a lot. I think that when Mansfield are playing against 11 men and they're one man down because dead Josh Alarja has been stupid and hit somebody, they're going to pay the price for it. I like some of the players. Like Blake Tracy offers a bit of depth on that left-hand side, naturally left-footed defender. But apart from that, I'm sort of looking at Mansfield and thinking, for me, they're probably going to be in my bottom six when I come to do my predictions because they've shown a lot of experience. But I think at this level, you need technical and a bit of youth and a bit of exuberance. They're not going down that route. And for me, that will only sort of spell trouble for the Yellows, unfortunately.
Peterborough. Con Clark has joined 22 goals in 47 games last year for Aldrinham.
Do for Fleetwood?
For Fleetwood, he never got a chance. Again, Fleetwood have been this club that I've tried to maybe try and rush into a deal to try and get the next Jamie Vardy. I think of players that have gone on to have decent kind of careers. I think the likes of Ashley Naddison, who did all right for Crawley, went to Gillingham last summer as well, and he's been good at League Two level as well. Con Clark's another one that has gone and done well in the National League. Danny Rowe was another one at Fleetwood that obviously went on to do it well at Fylde, never really seemed to prove it.
Big lad.
Yeah, was it?
Played for Lincoln.
Yeah.
We played him at left back.
Yeah. What, the big striker squad about? Who played him there?
David Oldsworth. Yeah, it was a nutter.
Oh, Christ. Was I better at left back last night?
No.
All right, okay. Okay. So they've obviously signed Nevitt from Rochdale. A lot of their business has been from League Two or the National League Ado, from Harrogate Town. Kamara's coming from Welling. They've done some good business so far, haven't they? You know, Josh Knight obviously left the football club to go to Hanover. But that's what Peterborough do. They wanted to keep him. Unfortunately, couldn't keep him. They've still got a very good squad next year as well.
Yeah, they have. I think Nevitt is essentially a Ronnie Edwards regen. If you think about Ronnie Edwards at Barnet, he looks like someone that they might not be able to shift on this summer, and then might risk completely losing him for free. Con Clark, obviously the player of the National League, but we spoke about with someone earlier. Who did we speak about? Jenkins, that's going in at Exeter. It's very tough, Ben, to go from the National League to League One, especially the top of League One. So I think they should maybe lower their expectations. I think he comes in as a backup for Joel Randall. I think that's where they'll see the best of him. Ado is a player I would liked at Lincoln, very direct, very quick, and finish. One of those players, a bit like Promise on a Cherry, when he's got no time to think about it in front of goal, is excellent.
Yeah.
And when he's got time to think about it, maybe not so well.
Blackpool.
Josh Knight leaving is big because he adds that experience at the back. For me, Peterborough now need to go out and sign an experienced defender. I remember a couple of years ago during the COVID year, they went out and signed Lee Beavers. That sort of signing to go and play next to a Nevitt or an Edwards or whoever, because I think they just need a bit more experience. So, Posh has business is always going to be good. They're very good at recruiting, aren't they?
Yeah, Northampton Town hit 60 points last season on the final day of the season, with a late goal against Barnsley. They haven't really signed anyone. Sam Sherring has gone out to MK Dons, so I don't think we need to gloss over that. John Brady did a good job there.
It's a good defender, Sam Sherring. I thought he
played 37 times last season in League One as well. So MK Dons have signed well, but we'll talk about that on League Two Live, where. It's no need for that. Like, it's not our fault that we was mistaken identity at Sinsel back last year.
Shut up.
Where we would have won the game.
Go on.
Yeah, so I'm just saying.
Reading
obviously lost Moller. Sam Smith, there's interest there for him. He scored 9 goals in 12 last season at the end of the season. He went on a similar run for Cambridge, where I think he scored 6 in 8. Yeah. So there's strong links to him.
Streaky boy.
Yeah, Reading are one that I think the ownership is very, very key, and hopefully they can sort something out very, very soon as well.
Yeah, no, I thought I was talking to myself there. That's what I said to you on the car on the way here. Yeah, no, I agree. I think Reading are one of those where you don't know where to place them because we don't know what's going on. It's the exact same as it was 12 months ago, isn't it? If they can keep Nibs, who's been linked with a move away, they can keep Smith. Lewis, I think, will stay, but who knows if they're going to be allowed to sign players, if they're going to be allowed to spend money, because ultimately Reading are in a situation that we don't know the outcome. So Reading could literally be quite anything this season.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll go on to Steve Evans's Rotherham United Football Club.
Not much of a club; it's more of a cult, isn't it?
No, what were we talking?
A gang.
What were we talking about yesterday? Club.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a chat about Rotherham United Football Club yesterday, didn't we? In a good way as well. But no, Steve Evans has gone in there, which we've mentioned. We mentioned about the signings of Clark Harris, Sean Raggett, Powell as well. We said about very good for set pieces as well. They signed Alex McDonald, who's been with him at Gillingham, been with him at Mansfield, been with him at Stevenage, and now followed him at Rotherham. I think he scored a penalty on the 23rd of March away at Carlisle United in a 2-2 draw, where they were 2-0 down. And again, he's that player that's experienced, that can play a number of minutes, get goals, set pieces as well. I think it's a good signing for them.
But he's worked under Steve before.
He's worked there as well. Cameron Dawson in goal. Location setting is perfect for him, coming from Sheffield. Sheffield Wednesday, that is, by the way. I better make that clear. And Zach Jules, who was at Fleetwood, been at MK Dons, been at Exeter City as well. Big centre half. It just suits Steve Evans. Big budget, that has to be known.
They lost a lot of players, though.
They
lost 16 players. So technically, what have they signed? 10 or 11?
Yeah, 10 or 11.
They're still net 5 players down. So I'd still expect Rotherham to be active.
They're still going to have a competitive League One budget, though.
Yeah, of course they will. Yeah. And Steve Evans wouldn't have gone there if they didn't have a competitive budget. So, I think McDonald as a general for Steve is one that will work. Dawson is a good keeper. I think he would nearly sign for Bristol Rovers before that move broke down. But yes, they're big spenders, aren't they, Rotherham?
I think Shrewsbury now obviously lost Marco Morosi, who I would probably put in one of the most underrated goalkeepers in League One over the last 3 or 4 seasons. I really think that. I think
voice clap there, Ben.
What?
Goalkeepers? Where's he play? He plays in goalkeepers.
Get me back
Morosi. Come on, Morosi.
Yeah, Morosi, obviously, they lost him and they brought in Toby Savin from Accrington Stanley.
What's he good at? He's good at saving.
Yeah, he is. I was going to use that joke, mate, but I thought I'd leave it to you. They've also brought in 2 players that I'm very familiar with in Harrison Biggins, who had a decent career at Fleetwood, and he came into his own under Stephen Craney. He did score a brace. Cold Tuesday night game in December against Bolton, where we won 3-0. Ricardo Santos actually got sent off that night.
Was that when Bolton were really bad?
It was the time when Bolton went bad. Bolton had a bad period from about November. They lost to Stockport that year in the FA Cup. And they actually ended the season very well. They brought in Connor Trafford as well. Bud Barton come in as well. Yeah. And but they've also brought Toto Nsiala in, who he's worked with before. He's been at Stevenage before, where they got to the player final, lost 2-1. They lost 2-1 to they lost 2-1 to Rotherham in the final. Who played that day? Anyone that we know? Who else played that day? Do we know?
For Shrewsbury.
For Rotherham. Who won promotion with them? Someone that we might have
Oh.
seen yesterday.
Lee didn't play him, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, Lee could have played for them. Yeah, Frex.
Yeah.
Lee Frex.
Yeah.
Good
He
man.
did. Yeah. There you are, you're mate. But Toto Nsiala, good signing. Biggins, good signing. Paul Hurst at the helm as well. They've also
George Lloyd.
Yeah, George Lloyd from
Cheltenham.
They're losing all of it.
The cup.
Elliot Bonds has gone to Fleetwood. George Lloyd has gone to Shrewsbury.
And we're taking the cream of the crop,
Yeah.
obviously. But
Lewis
yeah,
Prieston's left the football club. South has left the football club.
We're coming on to Lewis Prieston.
Hello, Josh.
So yeah, Shrewsbury, they just need to sign someone that can score goals because George Lloyd isn't the type of centre forward that's going to score a load of goals, which worries me. But you'd like to think maybe it's going to be Tom Bloxham's year. He had a good spell at Morecambe last season on the right hand side. Jordan Shipley will be good. They've lost Tom Bayliss in midfield, which I think is a big loss. Shrewsbury fans maybe won't see it that way, but they can bring in a bit more creativity, a goal scoring strike, and a couple more attacking minded midfielders. I think Shrewsbury could have the ingredients for a steady base next year.
Going on to Stevenage now. Alex Ravel.
It's not Matt Farley, I've heard.
Yeah, Matt Farley, what a bloke. You know, he is literally.
He'll be watching this.
Yeah, I love him.
Farley.
I love that bloke.
I hope you had a nice time in Turkey.
Yeah, he's a fantastic bloke. Lewis Freestone has come in. Good signing for them. Dan Kemp, technically gifted. Never really worked out his loan spell at Blackpool. Was it Swindon as well? He started off at West Ham as well. But now at Stevenage hopefully found a home.
For Stevenage before.
Yeah, played for them before. Good signing. I think for what they've already got, now it's about keeping players. Hopefully Big Steve keeps his fingers off their pies.
Oh, that's never going to happen, is it? Steve Evans loves a pie.
He's a good manager at League One.
Lewis Freestone is the signing, I think, is one of the most underrated signings because he's a very good naturally left-footed centre-half. Whether he plays left centre-half, if they play a 2 or a 3 in terms of centre-backs, I think he'd be really good next to Pierre Gianni as a 2, actually. I think that would be quite good. But then you've got the likes of Van Kooten, Sweeney missing out as well, and Nathan Thompson as well. So they've got depth in defence. Stevenage now, for me, they've got Reed, they've got Apre, they've got Presley. Maybe some wide forwards. They've got the press. Maybe some wide forwards now because you've got Jordan Roberts that plays in that 10. You've lost McDonald, but someone that's going to play on the touchline. Dan Kemp is someone that will want to come inside. If they can sign a winger, I tell you what, Ben, you won't thank me for it. Someone like a Junior Katerna who just stays on the touchline and just doesn't want anything to do with coming inside. He just wants to be out there and do some damage. If Stephen had signed Junior Katerna, I want a cut of the money.
Yeah. We'll go to Stockport County, who I think have had the best window overall in League One, if I'm honest with you.
Really?
Because I think they've signed a great goalkeeper in a die. They've signed Callum Connolly. They've signed Fevier. They've signed Jack Diamond, who's a great signing as well. Alopai has signed a new 3-year deal as well. Callum Connolly's a great player at this level as well. You know, he breaks up play, can play centre-half, can play right-back, can play CDM. As a CDM, I think he's his best role, or in part of the back 3 as well. He gives everything. He's a warrior. Keeping Cheltenham, who I think will be the best thing that they've done. Sunderland aren't going to go here. It looks like he's going to start the season as Stockport County manager. He's won 2 promotions and got to a playoff, final, losing to Carlisle in the last 3 years. He's been an unbelievable rise. Stockport County are coming up and they're going to have a go, I think. I think definitely they can definitely finish in the top 12, 100%.
Yeah, when I said to you last time we did one of these, that they're going to finish above Wrexham, this is exactly what I meant.
Yeah.
The business is great. Jack Diamond has done it at this level before. With Lincoln, he has. He was good.
Needs to get back to
and obviously the court case, which we won't go into.
He was in the Paul Carlisle team as well.
He was. And obviously, what happened to him off the pitch affected him massively mentally, and that's understandable because that would affect anybody. Adai is someone that I think will come in and play the way Challoner wants to play. So good with the ball at his feet. Lewis Bate, probably the standout midfielder in League Two last year on loan at MK Dons. And to get him on a permanent, having left Leeds, is a real coup. I disagree with you about Connolly. I don't think he's special. I think he's a lower mid-half League One player. But I think you need those sorts of players for depth if you want to sustain and overachieve. So for me, Stockport, very good window. think they maybe need one or two more, but they're looking very competitive. I also about Challoner. I don't know if Stockport are a very ambitious club, Ben.
Oh, they are.
Stockport will want to be in the Championship. Is Dave Challoner their man to take them to the next step?
I genuinely believe so.
I don't think he is.
I genuinely think Stockport County and Wrexham should be looking at a 3-year plan now in League One. And Wrexham won't like me for saying this. Stockport maybe so.
Wrexham don't like me, do they?
Yeah, 3-year plan for both those football clubs. Look, come up. Bolton finished 9th in the first season in this tier after getting promoted. Look, I know they had financial difficulty before this. New ownership, 73 points in the first season is a very, very good, start. And then getting into a playoffs, losing, and obviously Bolton would have liked to get promoted this year. Stockport should be looking at that and can model up. Stockport are a big football club. They sell out fans. They've got a great crowd behind them as well. They're a big football club. Next up, Wigan Athletic, Jake. Come on,
this is your team, isn't it?
Stephen Craney left their under-21s and has joined up with former teammate Ian Evatt. Obviously. Stephen Craney's been in and around football for a long time now as a coach. Obviously ended at Fylde, went to Fleetwood as a coach, went to be manager in Wigan. He's got promotion on his CV, doesn't need to leave his house. Haven't really signed anyone. Sean Maloney has come out and said they're going to have a mid-table budget. Me and you disagree. I think he did a great job last year. I think they won 20 games. They were competitive. They were a mid-table side. They finished mid-table and they had a go towards the top 10, finished well above everyone else said they would. I predicted them 13th. They finished in and around there as well. I think they did very well last year.
Well, you are a Wigan fan, so that would completely... I would understand. I don't know. Wigan, obviously, we've already spoken about their signings, haven't they? Of Ola Kigbe and Ramsey. Dion Rankin came in. Andy Lonergan came in as a goalkeeper coach. So whether we see movement.
Yeah.
I think the best thing that Wigan can do, I don't know if we said this last time, is keep a hold of Charlie Hughes and Sam Tickle.
Yeah.
As well as the likes of Scott Smith in midfield, Tello Asgard. They can keep that exuberance. They've got some young players that had really good loan spells last year. Adams was at Morecambe. He had a really good loan spell. Wigan, I think they will be strong. They will have. I disagree with what he said about his mid-table budget. I think they'll have a higher. Wigan in this league, Ben, will have a higher budget than mid-tech. Trust me.
You've got to remember they lost the biggest two earners halfway through last season in Callum Lang and Charlie Wyke, and now they've lost Josh McGinnis, who wouldn't have been on peanuts. Let's be honest.
So they'll have some money.
So they've got money to play with. They're going to go for loan signings, and they're going to be trying to be a bit more sustainable.
I think what they're really good at is getting players on free, but convincing them to go there by offering bigger wages. Yeah,
100%. Fleet would have been like that over the years as well. Wrexham, Okonkwo, come in. Again, what a signing that is. On loan last year's season, I didn't think they'd do it. That's been pretty it so far. They've been over to America, haven't they? Playing over there over the summer as well. Obviously, they'll want to sign a few more. They're not quite done yet. They've got a great Christmas period as well in the fixtures. They've got a great opening section as well. I don't think Wrexham will get promoted at this present time. I think Wrexham should aim for the top 10, have a go, be comfortable, sustain, because going up can sometimes damage in the long run. Sometimes you need to be patient. Sometimes you need to kind of think. Wrexham's plan when Rob and Ryan came in would have been go up every 2. Obviously, they had the disappointment in the playoffs first time around, didn't they? Obviously, didn't end up going up, lost in the semi-finals in that crazy game. And then the next season, they went up. Then they went up. So they're probably a year ahead of plan at this moment in time. Sustain and then know the league. Trust in Phil Parkinson. Do I think he's the right man to get him where they want to in the end? No, I don't. I think they'll have to be a change management down the line. I think sometimes his style of play can be a bit stubborn, but who am I to question a manager that has won many promotions over his time?
I think that about Challoner, but for me, what Parkinson has, he's got promoted out of this league before.
Yeah.
So for me, I think I think with the budget that Wrexham will have, maybe not this year, but I could easily see a world that in 2 years, if Wrexham was still in League One, they'll have the biggest budget by
they will.
Considerable distance.
They've got a great squad already.
I think Phil Parkinson could be the right man.
They've got a great squad still. They've got some good players in there. They're not all top-end elite League One players. There's some good players in there, like Elliot Lee, that I think can easily adapt to this level and become one of the best players in this league. James McLean, 35, won the yo-yo test, finished joint first in Wrexham's first week back. Paul Mulling, again, I'd like to see him in League One for a full season. I think he'll bag goals because the match chances do great. Okonkwo, I think, can easily step up the level as well. They've still got Andy Cannon, who's been at Hull, Rochdale as well. have a good squad next season, and I definitely think they'll be up there, the top 12 at this moment in time as well. And Wycombe obviously lost Chris Farino, but have managed to strengthen the squad as well. Riverzoli signed a new deal as well. Alex Hartridge came in earlier this window as well. Other than that, pretty quiet window.
Well, they signed the lad from Brighton literally last night, didn't they?
Yeah, well, it's been pretty quiet.
That's pretty loud. But no, yeah. I think we'll see Wycombe sort of strengthen themselves a lot later in the window, given the fact that they're meant to be after quite a few Kazakhstani and Georgian players, aren't they? Because of the ownership group there. So excited to see what that brings. But Hartridge, dependable left-sided defender. I think he'll allow Luke Leahy to go and play further forward. Riverzoli did really well, and they got rid of Max Stroit because Riverzoli did that well. And also Nathan Bishop, who they nearly signed. I think it was 2 years ago when he was at Manchester United. Obviously, Bishop is the lad that broke Paul Mullins' lung, or popped a hole in his lung during pre-season last year. So, but a good goalkeeper. Seen it. I think he was at Mansfield when they were in League Two. So, look, I expect Wigan to come good. They'll have one of the bigger budgets, and yeah, I think they'll be all right.
Jake, thanks for joining me, mate.
Thank you, Paul.
Next season, League One Live, 8 o'clock on a Sunday. We will be there. We're going to start off 2 weeks before the season starts. So what's that? I think it's the 27th of July. We'll be there. But we'll have a couple more of these out, and I will have some more of these out as well. So please subscribe if you're a League One or League Two fan. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd like to see come to the channel. Until next time, I will see you later. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks for watching.